Hi there, I'm back, and today I want to make some SunButter, and aka sunflower seed butter, and I'm going to use my Oster Pro 1200. And I just want to see, this will be the first time I'm making SunButter in this blender. It does a really good job with peanut butter. I've also made some pretty good almond butter in it. So today I'm going to try sunflower seed butter. And I have a 12-ounce package of roasted but unsalted sunflower seeds that I'm going to put in. And now buying them unsalted is totally optional. But I like to do it that way. That way I can control how much salt is in here. I do use salted peanuts, and that way I'm thinking I don't have to add any salt to it later on, but I find myself countering it with more sweetener, whether it be honey or sugar or whatever, to kind of counteract it if it just has too much salt in it. This way I can control exactly how much of everything that goes in it, salt, honey, what have you. So let's get this started. And I did pinch a little taste of this when I opened the bag, because there's nothing worse than going through all this work and then you have stale or rancid seeds or nuts. So make sure you give it a taste. Even if you just bought it, you never know, you might get a bad package. So taste them first. All right, so I'm going to put this on low to get started here. Maybe I will zoom just a little bit there, and then we can kind of watch the action. Okay, let's scrape this down. I did watch more than a few other videos making SunButter. So very similar to peanut butter, a little bit of patience, and you just need to stop your blender or food processor, whatever you're using, a few times to kind of scrape everything down. And you also do need to add a little bit of oil, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. As it happens, I use a lot of sunflower oil for cooking, so I'm going to go ahead and add some of my sunflower oil. And we keep it all the same flavor. And I put in a tablespoon, if anybody's following the measurements here. Let's try the food chop, see what happens. There we go. Just created a little dam there because it's kind of thick. So let's, all right, let's try that again. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to come up a little bit. All right, it is getting soft down there. It's just hard to see it because it's getting soft from the inside outward, meaning to the sides of the jar. Yeah, I can feel it getting soft down there, so I am going to add just a little more oil because these are already roasted. They're going to be ever so slightly drier. And another tablespoon. Just distribute that a little bit. Hopefully I won't get that little dam thing again. Okay. There we go. I don't know if you can see it. It is moving ever so slowly, but it is moving. There it goes. It is moving, so I think I'm going to go back to the steady speed. Yes, it's getting much softer. The oil definitely helps soften it up a little bit faster. So, and I don't want to burn out my motor or anything, so since this is so thick. Yeah, and this is just going back to the low steady speed, but here, I'll let you see this. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know, I'm getting a shadow here. I hope you could see that. It's, for some reason, got a shadow right where I was aiming. But it's moving really nicely now. We'll just let that run. I'm going to let this run for a few minutes, so I'm just going to pause it and we'll come right back. Okay. Let me show you. I let it run for a good minute and a half, 2 minutes there. So let me show you what it looks like at this point. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? It's getting really smooth. You can see the addition of the sunflower oil has really helped move it along a little more quickly. It smells fantastic. I wish you could smell this. It is still a little bit grainy, but you know, that's okay. We can keep running this until it gets absolutely smooth. And however smooth you want it, really. That's a matter of preference. I'm going to go ahead and add my salt now. I just have a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, which is just coarse salt, basically. Give that a little spin here. Take it up to medium to see if it makes that smooth out a little quicker here. Now there we go. Now, this is kind of loud, so I apologize, but here we go. Always when you're doing something like this, check the back of your motor base to make sure it's not overheating. The jar is getting warm, but my motor base is nice and cool, so that's good. Okay, sorry for talking over the noise. All right, that looks pretty good to me. So I'm gonna, at this point, I'm going to add my honey. I have a tablespoon of honey, and I like to use raw honey. So this is a little bit. It's a little bit hard, as you can see that it's kind of a solid form, so it needs a little bit of help out of the spoon. But my favorite trick is to measure your oil first and then use the same spoon to get the honey out, or to spoon your honey. Now, this is a little bit of an exception because it's so thick, but generally speaking, it works great. So. Okay, so let's just give that a quick stir here. Okay, I'm going to pause one more time so I can get a jar. Hold on. Okay. Let's see if we can spoon this into a jar. I'm not sure if it pours or not. Probably not. It looks a little bit stiffer than that, but you can see it's nice and soft. Definitely spreadable. Sorry about that. I keep sitting on the cord here. Let's push this down. In case any of you are wondering what kind of spatula this is, I probably should have showed it to you before I got butter all over it, but this is something made by KitchenAid, and I found it at Target, and I know I've seen it online, like Amazon or somewhere like that. The only physical brick and mortar store I've found it at is Target. That doesn't mean it's not sold somewhere else. That's just the only place I've seen it. The entire spatula, with the exception of the handle here, is covered in silicone, a solid piece of silicone. So there's no seams where things can get in and cause bacteria buildup and stuff. And it just has this tiny little divot spoon at the end, which is perfect for getting down and into, you know, around the blades of your blender, which is nice. Because there's nothing that's more frustrating than going through all this work, making this nice, beautiful nut or seed butter, and then you can't get the stuff out at the bottom because either your rubber spatula or wooden spoon is too big, or it's constantly getting caught on the tips of the blades. And it just makes it so frustrating. So it still is a little work to dig everything out. It always is. But this gets right under and around the blades, which is kind of cool. And I don't, other than my stand mixer, I don't really promote KitchenAid much. They've changed a little. But I do like the spatula. It is really, really nice. And it's only flexible that last inch or so. The rest of it has like a stiff piece. I don't know if it's metal or what it is. I doubt it, because you can bend it if you really force it. But it's got a nice firm grip to it. So there's nothing I hate worse than spending money on silicone kitchen tools only to have them so soft that you can't get a grip on anything. That, you know, especially something like a nut butter that's stiff, you know, that's kind of thick. So okay, so here we go. And I'm not going to waste what's left in the jar here, because if you've watched any of my other videos in the past, you know that I'll throw some almond milk in there and a banana or maybe some ice. Today's a very, very hot, sticky, humid day, so definitely something icy cold in there. All right, so there we have it. This beautiful jar of SunButter. And I'm just gonna put my finger in there. Is that ever good? And it is so smooth. And of course, like any nut butter, it's fabulous when you first make it fresh. It's still warm. That is really good. Smells wonderful too. That is really good. This is an excellent peanut butter substitute. So if you're allergic to peanuts or nuts in general, but you can eat sunflower seeds, this is a wonderful alternative, and it's so much cheaper to make than to buy. Sunflower seeds are pretty inexpensive. So, and I just bought that bag at my local grocery store for, I think it was maybe $2 or $3. So I hope this is helpful to you, and I hope those of you that have purchased the Oster Pro 1200 are liking it and having fun blending all kinds of good nutritious things and fun things. So again, if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up and have a great day.